The Philippines is increasingly becoming the go-to travel destination in Southeast Asia. Everywhere I look on social media these days, I'm constantly hearing about how great it is. So my mate James and I can't wait to go there and check it out for ourselves. We've only got 3 weeks, but we're going to try and explore 5 different islands, and hopefully we'll find out if it truly is more fun in the Philippines. Siargao Island, really good vibe here. That view. Yeah, the people here are so friendly.
Have a nice day.
It's good. Get this.
What is it? A head of a goat.
The head of a goat.
Head of a goat.
Boracay is known as the party place, so that's exactly what we've come here to do. Yeah, I don't have the best of history with cliff jumping, so I may end up bottling this.
He's like, yeah, just jump. So I just jumped.
We are whale shark diving. That was messed up. Our plane's been delayed by 5 hours. We were exhausted. Our main concern is whether we're going to have enough time to do everything we want in these 3 weeks. Right then, the Philippines. This is a country that James and I have been thinking about going to for a few years because when we did our HK to NY around the world trip, in our first week, we met this guy called Emmanuel, and he was sort of asking us about our itinerary. He said, oh, you guys, you've got to go to the Philippines, you've got to go check it out. It's the best place in Southeast Asia. But we were already cramming in quite a lot to our trip anyway, so we didn't really have time to do a detour to the Philippines. But we thought, yeah, we'll definitely go check out that place someday. So what we're going to do is have a couple of nights in Manila, and then we're going to go to 4 other islands after that. And I've read a few blogs online for like suggested 2-week itineraries or 3-week itineraries for the Philippines, and a lot of it's like, oh yeah, you spend a couple of days in this island, a couple of days in this island, go bang, bang, bang all around. You know, it only takes 45 minutes to fly from one island to another, so you can get around nice and easy. But what we're going to do is sort of have about 5 or 6 days on each island, so it'll give us time to do the 1 or 2 things we know we want to do there, but also give us some free time to sort of just go with the flow, explore around and just see where it takes us. Now, as mentioned, traveling with me again is James, and if you've been following the videos, the last time you would have seen James was at the end of the Backpackers of the Caribbean trip, because James was in the middle of a 20-month trip through Central and South America. And I met up with him in the middle for like 7 weeks through Panama, Colombia and Venezuela.
Yes!
Then after I flew back to the UK, he kept on traveling for over another year before he finally came home. And that was in October 2016. And now, 5 months later, the two of us are heading off to the Philippines. And yeah, I can't wait to be traveling with him again. It's going to be so much fun. But I will say one last thing though. I'm not going to be bringing my drone on this trip for 2 reasons. 1, I can't be arsed lugging this thing around. I haven't got the Mavic Pro yet. But 2, nearly every video I've seen of the Philippines online is nothing but drone footage. And don't get me wrong, they look amazing. The shots are incredible. I'm not trying to diss anyone's work. But for me, I'm really keen just to show what the Philippines is like on the ground. How well we'll succeed with that, I guess we'll just find out. I mean, maybe some people will watch this and go, should have brought your drone, mate, your video's shit. But anyway, only thing left to do now is fly out there. So, Philippines, let's do this. We made our way to Heathrow to board our 14-hour flight to Manila. Now, a lot of people skip the capital city to get straight to the smaller islands, but we thought we'd at least check it out and spend a couple of nights here. We are here in Manila. We're in the old part of town, and Paolo over here got in touch via Instagram, so he's been our local tour guide, showing us around the town, which is pretty sweet.
So this is like the walled city around Manila. So back in the day when the Spanish came here to colonize, it used to protect them from other foreign invaders. As you know, like Japanese also tried to come here to conquer. Yeah. So it was like their like safe zone. Yeah.
Cool.
This is the Church of Manila. Yeah. It has been established in 1571, but during the 19th century it has been demolished. And then they built it up, and so that's what it is now.
So apparently the Spanish colonized Philippines and ran this place for 333 years and then sold it to the Americans for $20,000. So yeah, if you want to buy the Philippines, apparently it costs $20,000.
okay. I don't want it. It's okay. I know it looks really nice.
Go. Right, what are we looking at then, tour guide?
So this is the walled city called Intramuros. So they built this fortress to protect from foreign invaders.
Right, Fort Santiago.
Yes. He's a tour guide, yeah. I'm getting all of this information from him.
Yeah.
Everyone goes
Steal
with
it.
him. Yeah, so I'm stealing his like.
So we're getting a free tour.
Yeah, exactly. Now.
It's all about who you know.
Where are we now? This is the bit where they used to like defend against everyone. It's like when the invaders were coming in, they'd use the cannons to shoot everyone. So they couldn't get
Really?
Yeah, look at that.
Awesome. Thanks for that.
That's why I travel with James, he just knows so much.
Why else would you have a fort?
Exactly.
We're like in the high tide, mate. The prisoners drank.
Yeah?
Yeah, so they drowned here.
What?
I'm reading it also. They were imprisoned here.
Old school way of getting around town. It's an old Uber.
Yeah, so this is an old Uber.
More than 100,000 people here during World War II.
100,000 Filipinos died in World War II, yeah.
Manila is known for its rooftop bars, so as the sun began to set, we made our way to the nearest one.
We found a Weatherspoons. This is pretty nice. Cheers, guys.
The Philippines.
Worth $20,000.
We were so fortunate to have Paolo and his friends show us around town, and once we parted ways, our choices of drinking venues slowly declined. In the morning, we were heading to Boracay, which is just a short 1 hour flight from Manila.
Excited now.
The airport is actually on the adjacent island, from where we should be able to easily transfer over and find our hostel.
You land on the runway, obviously, and then it's a 10-minute drive in a bus to the rest of the airport through town. And then we kind of fucked up and went for the first van that would take us to the ferry, and they've charged us to drive around the corner, get on a tiny ferry, and then drive us to the hostel. So this is Southeast Asia in a nutshell. We filled in a form to get a sticker to go on a bus, and then we got 3 different tickets and filled them in another form to get on a boat. We've still got our main sticker. The other 3 tickets have now gone, seen by about 5 different people. And now we're gonna get on this little boat. Presumably we'll get to a hostel at some point.
Eventually, after our short morning's journey of a taxi to a plane to a bus to a van to a ferry to another van, we finally arrived at our destination.
Alright, so we made it to Boracay. It's our first proper stop of the trip. Boracay is supposed to be the big touristy kind of party place of the trip, which some people even said skip because it's so touristy and party, but we thought let's just start here, let loose and get involved before we start exploring around. Got to Mad Monkey Hostel and they've got a Sunday Funny session on, so we haven't even looked at Boracay at all yet, we've just been chilling out here all day. This is the very busy and productive day we're having. You love squeezing into a small ring?
It's like the perfect fit.
Who is your mate?
It was good. What's wrong with me?
What, you want the list?
The next morning, I finally managed to escape the hostel and have a little explore around the island.
Alright, this is Boracay. Yeah, I think we're just going to be chilling here and hitting up a party boat in a couple of days, letting loose before we start exploring around the other islands. Alright, let's go check out Spider House. Secret little cave entrance. Cool. Got ourselves some mojitos, perfect spot for sunset. Plus I've got a beer as well, and there's pizza on the way, so life's pretty sweet right now.
Life could be worse.
I should have actually introduced me Ray, actually.
You should have.
She got in touch about a year ago, was it?
I think so. I think it was a year ago.
And then it's like going to be in the Philippines at the same time, so here we are. How have you found Boracay?
Boracay has been amazing. It's kind of a party destination, but I guess that's what we're here for anyways.
Yeah, Boracay, I mean, it is very touristy, it's super crowded. There's, I think half of China's here, and there's a lot of Chinese people in the world, but say that this main beach is overcrowded is a massive understatement. But it's still beautiful. Along here we've got tons of bars and shops. Then we've got this little shopping mall area down through here. But yeah, we came with one thing to party, and it's exactly what we've done.
I mean, you went on the party boat. I kind of missed the party boat.
Number one rule of the boat party. If at any time you're caught with a drink in your right hand, the name of the game is Hugo, and you have to do it through the beer bong. That's the most important one. Number two, when we're on the boat, please do not throw anything into the ocean. No bottle caps, no beer bowls, no cigarettes. This place is beautiful, let's keep it that way. And number five, let's get fucking shit-faced.
God! Here's Patrick.
What's up?
I could have walked out there easy if it was in my right hand.
Yeah. What we got, mate? What we
So
got?
basically we are now at Magic Island. This is the cliff jumping part of the Mad Monkey Cruise.
Where are you from?
London, mate.
You sound like you're from London!
Oh my god!
They got cliff diving, so obviously I'm not doing it. But I've still managed to injure myself anyway and cut my little toe. Where are you guys all from then?
We're from Manila, and then we work on the Club Galaxy.
Club Galaxy.
And it's a DJ Shintaro.
DJ.
Yeah.
Nice. What's your DJ name?
Shintaro.
Shit.
I'm half
Shit,
Japanese.
DJ
tattoo.
Shit.
Shintaro, yeah.
That's just shit.
Nice, man. And you here on holiday or what are you doing?
I'm working here.
Nice. Nice.
It's a black label.
Nah.
Just one shot. Just one shot.
Just one shot.
Come on, Ed.
Cheers. This is the DJ Shit. That's not too bad, actually. That's good.
Black label, bro.
Welcome to the Philippines.
Yeah, from the Philippines. Yeah.
They got free whiskey, so all I want to know is where's James?
Damn.
James! But the party boat yesterday was great. I mean, on the surface it could just look like lads on tour getting drunk, like why have you gone all the way to get drunk? But then we stopped off at Magic Island. We met all the local Filipino guys who gave us all their local food.
You must try the Kilawin.
What is it?
Go. Yeah. Go.
Kilawin. Go Kilawin. Try. Spicy.
What is that calamari? It's a calamari. Oh my god, it's fucking spicy as fuck.
It's a shawmai.
Would you like to taste it?
Shomai.
Yeah. You should try this. You should try this. Come on, you should try this.
It's good.
It's good.
It's good. That's right.
What you got down here?
A head of a goat.
The head of a goat.
Head of a goat. Yeah, it's a head of a goat.
Right, I'm gonna try the head of the goat now.
You here in the Philippines, so
Gotta try the local food.
here.
Alright.
And it's the ear. Ear of the goat.
Oh,
Not here.
yeah. Go. You must eat. And then
Swallow. Swallow.
swallow. And then you sip. Oh, that's it. Come on.
Goat ear tastes alright.
Yeah.
So nice.
Cheers to that.
So nice.
This is awesome.
The party boat went on for a few more hours, but from this point onwards, no one was really talking any sense.
And Nicaragua was just not exist. I said, you made it.
Then, after a beautiful sunset, we made our way back to the main beach.
We just got off the boat, we're heading back to hostel. We get back in the beach and there's a guy doing a fire show. And everywhere you go in the world, there's some guy doing a fire show on the beach. But this guy was awesome. But yeah, like I said, we had a great time on a party boat, or at least as far as I can remember. And tomorrow we're heading to Cebu. And once we get to Cebu, it's more like the adventure activity stuff, a bit more amongst the culture, I guess. And now it's a perfect evening to finish it all off. So, loving life. As the sun sets, all the bats fly across the sky. If you look out to the sea here, you can see amongst the water the reluctant Instagram boyfriend having to take endless pictures of his girlfriend.
Can you take it like this, please? Or like this?
Alright, we're now in Cebu. Now getting here yesterday from Boracay was a mission because just to get to Boracay airport was a tricycle, a boat, a tricycle and a short bus ride, then we got on the flight.
Now, the flight was only 55 minutes, but the taxi from the airport into town took over an hour just to go a few miles. Then we tried to find the correct bus to take us to our hostel.
We've been on this bus for 10 minutes. A guy came to sell us water that was useful. Then a guy tried to sell us Spider-Man masks. Then we had this preacher guy going on for 10 minutes. Then we asked him 5 times, is this the right bus? Like, yeah. And then when he comes to sell us a ticket, we're on the wrong bus. Wrong bus. The guy who told us several times that we were on the right bus beforehand, and we came to buy the ticket off him, he went, oh, no, you're on the wrong bus, and dropped us off. I was about to say on the bus that you just have to get on these things and trust you're going the right way, and it always works out in the end. Not this time.
I didn't even see that drifter.
Taxi back to the bus station. So we have to get another taxi back to the bus terminal and get on the correct bus down here. Round 2, so the mask guy's back again. From Cebu City to here is 63 miles, but it took 3.5 hours. So it was a very, very long, tiring day. But we made it to the hostel and it's pretty beautiful here. Hi, sir. Good evening, buddy.
After that exhausting day of travelling, we had a really long night's sleep. Then the next day, we didn't have much planned because it's actually Good Friday, which means that pretty much everything is shut. But we still went for a little explore around the town.
Is the lucky rice?
Yeah.
When you eat it,
The brand, the name.
you know, when you eat it, you win $1 million perhaps? I don't know. You get lucky.
What's your name?
My name's Clyde.
Me, Clyde.
You?
James.
James.
We only arrived today.
From where?
Boracay.
So was it nice there? A lot of people.
Lots of people.
Just party.
Very nice, Boracay, very nice.
A lot of chicks.
Busy.
There, right?
Like a city.
Semana Santa. Where's the party? Where's
Actually, there's no
There's
party.
no party in our place. There's no party, but if
But where's the parade?
Later.
Later?
Later.
What time?
Around 6. Oh no, 5:30.
Semana Santa is the Holy Week for Catholics, with today being Good Friday, where they remember Jesus' death. The good in the Good Friday comes from the Old English when good meant holy, so today is essentially Holy Friday. Pretty much the whole town came out for the procession, following these pasos with statues of Jesus, Mary, and other saints. It was nice having a relaxing evening after the mayhem of Boracay, and it gave us a chance to rest up before the adventure activities begin tomorrow.
Alright, we are in Oslob to do the whale shark dive, and I'm not even sure we should really be doing this. They feed them to attract them, so there's a lot of controversy around it, but we're going to check it out and I'll let you know what it's like. When we did our HK2NY trip 4 years ago, one of the things we got shit for on YouTube was the fact that when we were in Thailand, we went elephant riding. And people were like, don't you know about how bad they treat them? Like, what were you thinking? I was like, truth is, we didn't know any better. We were just like, oh, elephants are cool, always wanted to ride one, let's go do it. So back then, it was like one of the things to do in Thailand, one of the things you ticked off your bucket list kind of thing, which is go ride an elephant. Now, we know much better, and I would never do elephant riding again, but nowadays, all the information about it is everywhere. There's videos shared on Facebook all the time and all this stuff. One of the things the Philippines everyone raves about doing is swimming with whale sharks. This is the thing that everyone comes to Philippines to do. You've seen the Instagram pictures, you've seen the brochure pictures, you see whale sharks, you're like, wow, what beautiful, magnificent creatures. I can come swim right up close to them and they're harmless. That looks awesome. This is the reality of it. There's thousands of people coming here by the busload, all queuing up, all to swim around these creatures. I mean, full disclaimer, we're here the busiest day of the year, but it's still nuts. We got there at 6:30 in the morning, and we ended up getting signed up for boat number 205. And those boats kept going for another few hours after us as well.
I'm so excited to go swimming with lots of people.
After 3 hours of waiting, we finally got on the boat.
All right, whale sharking, day 6. We're heading out.
Once you get out to the water, there's about, I don't know, 30, 40 boats in a line, and then there's a couple of boats that go along feeding the whale sharks, and they basically just send the whale sharks in a line back and forth, and you get out the boat and you can swim and snorkel right by them. They do have a little safety briefing about don't get too close to sharks. If you do this, you'll get fined $2,500 or you could get up to 6 months in jail. I tried to film the safety briefing and then they told me to stop filming. But the thing is, they sort of say to you, well, you've got to keep your distance from the whale sharks, but the water's so crowded with so many people and there's so many boats that you get in the water and you're like, try not to bump into anyone else, try not to smack your head off the boat, and before you know it, there's a whale shark coming underneath your feet. And your depth perception's off because you're in the water, so you don't know if you're going to kick it in the head or in the fin. If you isolated all the bad stuff, they actually being in the water with a whale shark was cool. I love that. Well, they're such magnificent, beautiful, huge creatures, and to get that close to them is an awesome experience.
This is pretty fun. It's basically, obviously it's amazing to see these animals, but it shouldn't be like this. It's just fucked up.
Insane. I can't believe this is still happening.
Everyone tells you to come here to do it because they want the perfect Instagram picture, and they sort of get like a selfie with a shark and act like they've just stumbled upon it across in the ocean, which is not what's happened. I could easily cut the footage I got and just made it look like, oh wow, whale sharks, aren't we so lucky, and put some deep house music on. I get everyone's desire to see them, like I wanted to see them, but it shouldn't be at the expense of the animals' well-being. It's not about having to go about the tourists who come and do it, because they might not know any better. What happens, they feed them every single day, and so the whale sharks don't migrate anymore, they just stay there the whole time, get used to being fed, and because they don't migrate, their skin doesn't get cleaned properly, so they have algae growing on them. All the sharks got like cuts and scars on them from when they've hit boats and people have hit them by mistake.
There is work being done in the Philippines to study the sustainability of whale shark tourism and the long-term effects it has on the sharks. However, despite the safety briefings for tourists and the local code of conduct, in 2015, a 3-year study highlighted that the guidelines were still being broken 97% of the time.
Doing some research now, there is another place in the Philippines called Dohol where they don't feed the sharks and they just go out and try and find them. And it's like a normal wildlife thing. If you get to see them, great, but don't bet on it because it's wildlife in their natural habitat. And you could easily criticise us for not doing our research beforehand, but that's fair enough.
James said go to utility.
So James says go to utility. Okay, whale sharking is done.
Bye!
Now we're on the way to some waterfalls in the back of this Jeep.
We were going to spend the afternoon climbing the Aguinid Waterfalls, and to get there was just a quick half-hour ride around the tip of the island.
Some Bonnie Tyler power ballads we drive through. Oh, you alright?
Blow out already. Not even had him a week. The worst place it could happen.
Yeah.
Spin ball.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. You taste.
Okay.
10 pesos.
10 pesos.
Yeah.
Pork barbecue.
Pork barbecue.
Good?
I'm not sure how cooked it is. Like, honestly.
Okay, Aguinid Waterfalls is not for sightseeing, okay? More on climbing and adventure. That's why do you have one guide, okay? My name is
Robert.
Nice to meet you all, guys. Aguinid Waterfalls, we have a 6 level. Different levels start from the level 0, going to 5.
Say it's slippy, I think.
This level 1.
Level 1.
If you want to swim, you can swim. Whoa. Hey, hi.
Hi. Shallow.
Yeah, good. Yeah, level 2.
It was like a 6 levels of the waterfalls that we got to climb up. Again, because it's the busiest day of the year, it was very busy and also queues of people taking photos.
We can skip it. We're happening or what?
At the end, our guide said we could go up another 3 levels if we wanted, and then we lost the crowds, and also meant we'd have to come back down. So that was really good fun.
Karl. Hey! Well, actually, got this one to ourselves.
It's level 8.
Most people do level 6, we've gone to level 8. Made it to the top.
They killed it.
Yeah.
Watch them just fly up. Like, yeah, all right, that's easy.
They live here though, alright?
He just said he was their first time here.
Shh, no, they come here every day. Thank you, Robert.
Superstar.
Best guide in Philippines. Robert!
Yeah, whatever. I do this every day.
For our last couple of nights in Cebu, we moved around to the town of Mobol. Firstly, because it was closer to the Kawasan Falls that we wanted to visit, and secondly, we hoped there'd be a bit more going on there compared to the beautiful yet isolated hostel we'd been staying at. It took about 3 hours to get there, travelling on a couple of rather crammed local buses, and then one of the dodgiest tricycles I've ever seen.
What's going on the back?
So we arrived in Mobol. James made the very wise point this morning that we've been spending way too much, which is fine in Boracay because we're blowing out, but at Nordsea Hostel we're kind of isolated, so we had to eat the hostel food, drink the hostel drinks. So we spent £70 in 3 days. Like I paid £1 for a banana this big. But now, so James like, right, no more eating hostels, local food, local beer, local rum, and we got straight into it. So like here, we got chicken abodo, which is apparently a local speciality or local dish.
We believe.
We believe. I wanted to try lechon, but they haven't got it yet, so I've got to kill a pig.
Find one first.
And we got Remoraid, the return of.
No, it's just Gatorade.
Oh, it's just Gatorade, of course.
Today, we're going to be canyoning down to Kawasan Falls. Now, I should say straight up that it's technically not proper canyoning. We're not going to be abseiling or anything like that. It's more just lots of jumping in the water off some high cliffs. But here's the problem. I don't have the best of history when it comes to cliff jumping. I dislocated my shoulder doing it 5 years ago in Italy, and ever since then I've had a bit of a mental block of jumping into water off anything higher than, say, the edge of a swimming pool. In fact, a couple of years back in Nepal, I even bottled doing canyoning right at the last minute.
It's a shame because I really enjoy doing these kind of things on holiday, and I want to be able to do them again.
Hey, you guys. So today seems like a good opportunity to beat my mental block because one, the first jump is only a couple of meters high, so hopefully I can gradually build up my confidence as we work our way up to the 15-meter jump. And secondly, you don't actually have to do any of the jumps, so if I want, I'm still free to completely bottle it again.
Alright, this is it.
I might hit my head on the roof when I jump in the water. That's why you need a helmet. The equipment's making it more dangerous.
First jump, it's 4 meters. I got this. Easy.
I survived! what happens if I smash my head? The helmet was supported.
It is very beautiful here though, that has to be said.
Positive thinking. Let's have some fun. We're here. Let's do it. You made it! Yeah! What just happened, mate? What just happened?
I hit my head on the roof.
Bye-bye, James. Oh my God! That was fun.
Next up was my first confidence-boosting test, a whopping 6-meter jump.
Karl, up there, mate. I want to see how scared Karl gets. Come on, Karl. Up there. Karl. Hurry up, Karl.
Now it's James's turn. Swim, James. Check out the cave.
So remember when we did Beach Trail?
Yeah.
Percy said, always look back where you came from. And I've never forgot that. Look.
That's why.
Fair enough.
It's like the best thing I ever learned.
Yeah. You right? I don't have my wallet.
Favourite thing about the Philippines, you smell barbecue everywhere.
Yeah. What's on the menu? I will get some chicken.
How many chicken?
Two chicken.
No chicken?
Thank you. Place for barbecue. Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
You ungrateful?
I can't believe you did that.
Practicing my form.
We had a bit of a walk down a canyon to get us to the penultimate jump, which is the highest one yet at 10 meters.
It's a bit high. The hardest one for me was the penultimate one, because that was a lot bigger than the others, and I nearly bottled that one.
Yes, mate.
Fucking did it.
After doing that jump, I was actually feeling alright about the final and highest one to finish off the day.
But then this one, I was like, oh, I've done. It's the same technique.
Yeah.
Get it.
I got my arm.
I did the same thing. Oh, I'm so happy. So happy. I overcame a fear today.
Is that good?
That is a well-earned beer. Feeling very, very proud of myself right now.
I'm so proud of you. I didn't think you were going to do it, but you did it.
It's like your mum.
Thanks, Mom. That's the best thing I've done on this trip so far.
Yeah,
definitely. 2.5 years ago, I bottled it in the pool, so done.
You have to give yourself a little word. So on the other one, I just said, what? So I just jump? He's like, yeah, just jump. So I just jumped. Yeah. Or you just give yourself a little countdown in your head.
That.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Jump. Otherwise you just
But I was
freeze.
counting, but 3, 2, 1.
No.
But
I was just like, right, I'm just gonna jump. So he'd be like, right, okay, you ready? 3. I've already jumped. Just was like, right, I've made up my mind.
Yeah, you went really fast. He was like, oh,
You would have done it otherwise.
Yeah.
To Kawasan Falls, end of the line. Over here we have the Instagram hill.
We got our Instagram pictures as well. Me and James got involved, pulled a few poses, showed them how it's done.
We have 2 islands left to visit on our trip, Siargau and Palawan, but I kind of messed up the order because to do both, we're going to have to double back on ourselves by flying from here to Siargau, then back to here and on to Palawan, as there's no direct flights between the two. And given how exhausting the journeys have already been, I was debating with myself as to whether to just miss one out.
My main concern is just whether we're going to have enough time to do everything we want in these 3 weeks. I've got a little stray dog coming after me. Trying to monologue, mate. Anyway, because I really want to go to Siargau and see something that's not on the main tourist trail. I mean, tourists, backpackers still go there, but it's not the one that everyone does. It's more of a local up-and-coming one. And lots of people from the Philippines recommend it to me, so I really want to go there. But if we do go over there, it means lots of back and forth, even more travelling, and we're just going to get more tired. So the other option is, do we just go straight from Cebu to Palawan and have more time there? I don't know.
In the end, we decided to suck it up and just go for it and squeeze in both islands, which meant we had an early start in the morning.
Our last night in Mobile, we stayed up to like 2 in the morning, which is our own fault, but we had to get up at 6 in the morning to then get a 3-hour bus on one of those busy packed buses where you can't get any more sleep, and you get dropped in Cebu City. Then it takes an hour to get a taxi from Cebu City to the airport. It's not far, it's just the traffic's terrible. And then got to the airport, had to wait there, then got a flight here which only took an hour, and then there's like a half-hour transfer to where we are right now. But we were exhausted, like absolutely shattered. It was one of those days traveling where you're like, oh my god, it just takes it out of you. Not helped by the fact that we gave ourselves a late night beforehand. But then we got here, and everything I've read and everything I've been told was stay at Smiling Pig Hostel, but we hadn't booked ahead, which is what I normally do. Got there and they were really lovely, very welcoming, but then they were like, nah, we haven't got any room. But there's a place right next to it called Softer Hostel where there is some room. So we got here and the guy was like, yeah, I can check you guys in straight away, but the only thing is we're still building the place. So we've basically got a room with some mattresses on the floor. We got here at 3 in the afternoon, and above us during the day they're still constructing, so there's like, you know, drilling, hammering, like wood cutting, everything noise going on, like so loud. But we were so tired, both James and I got on the mattresses and just collapsed and slept through that really loud noise. That's how tired we were. But this hostel looks really cool. I think once it's done as well, it's going to be a really nice spot right next to Smiling Pig. Siargau Island, it's basically known for surfing. You know, it's a big, they got the Cloud9 surf here and there's like huge waves. Just a top surfing spot. But I don't think that's what we're going to do here. I think what we're going to do is just hire out mopeds for the next few days and just explore around the island and just like have more of a random adventure. Like, you know, Boracay was partying, Cebu was like the sort of list ticking, you know, canyoning and whale sharks and all that. This is more just like, let's just get some bikes, explore and just see what happens. So I think that's a rough plan for the next few days. All the petrol comes in Coke bottles, just reused Coke bottles, pretty sweet. Got ourselves some bikes to explore around, driving 5 minutes, flat tyre. Speedometer doesn't work on it as well, so it's a top quality bike. Hopefully these guys can fix it.
Is there something in there?
So it needs new tyre?
No bliss.
We got a top local team working on it. James assisting.
Yeah, do that. Good work. Gonna end up with some other fucking chronic someone who used to ride a BMX and worked out how to fix punches all the time. Yeah. I have no idea what he just did.
Alright, we think it's fixed. He's our saviour. Good man.
How much you want?
There's lots of lagoons and waterfalls and things like that on this island sea. Just, we have no idea where they are. So we've come to this town Dapper. Have a little wander around. Loving Dapper.
Love Dapper. It's amazing.
There's a bar. So yeah, we just come to chill out in here with all the other
local
guests.
Local bar with local people.
Yeah. James worked his magic in speaking Filipino now.
I can speak Filipino.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to Spanish.
I just went for a dip actually. Bloody refreshing. Just what you need on a morning hot day like this.
In it oi.
In it oi.
In it oi.
What does that mean?
It's hot today.
In it oi.
In it.
We're now at Magpo Pongo Rock Pools. Been a lovely little drive here through villages and fields and jungle, and then just gonna chill at this nice beach. Very good value here for the price of what, £3? We got ice cream, beer, Coke, bottle of rum, Gatorade, another beer, another ice cream. Driving along and we saw this sign for a cave pool, so we thought we'd check it out. Hello. And we thought we were just going to look at a cave, and then we actually go jumping in and swimming through fresh water all the way underground through a cave for like 20 minutes. Lead the way, guys.
Hey, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Follow me.
Oh, loads of bats.
You know Batman?
Swear to me.
Oh, where are you?
Back, mate.
What's up?
It's our guide, took us through the cave. Kong himself.
Kong in the cave.
Thank you, man. Well, that was unexpectedly awesome.
It was great, wasn't it? Best 70 pesos ever.
It cost us a pound, and we just saw it on the drive here, so that just made the day. Yeah. Right, next stop. Yeah, we're just stopped off in this village in the middle of the island, really. Went for a little swim.
That's the one, mate.
Nice. Some young boys joined in. But it's a beautiful place. It's been a bit of a theme. Every time we go for a swim, like all the kids just want to get involved. And they'll just like jump in with you. Cannonball at the end.
See this like view? Everyone's got their little houses along the river. You got like houses that way, jungle that way.
That river would have been really cool for tubing actually, just cruising through the jungle and these odd little villages. That's a beautiful little spot. We're trying some local cuisine.
Contains real potatoes. What do they usually say?
It's basically what we've been driving through. Endless jungle.
Is it jungle though?
Endless trees.
I don't know what the definition of a jungle is.
Yeah. It's our last night here in Siargau. Like everywhere you go, you always need more time, but I would say Siargau, you definitely need more time. Yeah, it's a really good vibe here, really good place. Tomorrow we fly to Cebu. We basically go to Palawan now. For our last leg of the trip, we're doing a week in Palawan. But to get there, we have to change planes, and so to break up the journey, we have a night in Cebu City and then fly there. Just take it a bit easier. But now we're just chilling on the beach at sunset, James found this place by just driving earlier. I was like, I'm going to go drive over there. I do love places like this where you can just keep exploring around and discovering new things. Like, we just stumbled upon this. It's awesome.
Wow. Look at that. Pretty sweet. That is a view. There's no one here. How is there no one here?
Well, the sign at the start said no access private property, so our guess is that someone's bought this and going to build a big, huge resort here or something. But we got here first. Just drove down a random road that James saw earlier.
That's what I do best.
That's what James does best.
I find good stuff.
He finds random passageways and makes his way down.
Not even a single person around. Well, apart from the locals.
Apart from all that noise over there.
No, but this is insane. That view.
Yeah.
Our flight back to Cebu was delayed, which meant we had a few hours sitting around in this sweaty little airport. Then the next day, our flight to Palawan was also delayed. So once we landed, we decided to just pay for the express shuttle to take us straight up to El Nido for the final week of our trip.
When it comes to Palawan, the island we're on, you know, some people say do El Nido, some people say do Coron, some people say do both, some people say go to Port Barton, but you know, we've already tried to cram in too much on this trip, so we decided let's just pick one place and just stay there the entire week. So we picked El Nido. El Nido town itself is, yeah, but you're here to see the surrounding area, and that's what we're here to do. I think we're going to hire out some bikes and go up to Napcam Beach, which is supposed to be gorgeous. We wanted to walk up there and it said stop, area closed, private property.
Go back trespassing, and you see the guy with the gun.
Whistling. James literally said, what's going to happen? Someone's going to shoot us? And then he got closer, we heard a whistle. There's a guy up over there. Just casually behind James, that little black dot, with a massive shotgun. Really don't want us going up there. Fucking hell. You know, it's had ups and downs this trip, so it's been so busy, so these last few days you just want to, you know, take it easy, you know, sort of settle in a bit, and then hopefully really enjoy our last few days in the Philippines. Tomorrow we're doing the boat tour, which is the thing I'm most excited for. But today we're in between days, so we're like, oh, just chill, take it easy, and we just went to the bar, met this guy John. Yeah, and John's got the party going.
This guy with the tunes, yes!
Drum and bass, motherfucker.
Drum and bass.
Private party on El Nido.
This is what we want.
Drum and bass.
Now we're on the beach here, and we've got our own private drum and bass party on the beach with the local Filipinos.
Hey,
What's your name?
Romel. I'm Filipino.
Filipino?
Yeah.
What's my name?
My name is Rain.
Your name's Rain. What's my name?
My name is Siargau.
He's trying to say my name.
Karl. Karl.
Yeah, there you go.
How do you say in Filipino, relax? Like in Spanish, it's tranquilo, tranquilo.
We use only relax.
Like in English, we say calm.
You know, you don't need a club, you don't need fancy lights. You need a table, some speakers, some drinks, and some good people, and then you've got a party.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Yeah!
Come here in the Philippines and enjoy.
Southeast Asia, way to start a day always is a banana shake, and that's what I'm doing. Today, we're doing the thing I've been most looking forward to on this entire trip, which is the island hopping around El Nido. It's not just supposed to be one of the most beautiful things in the Philippines, it's supposed to be one of the most beautiful places in the world. when you get here, there's like tours A, B, C, and D you can do. But the problem with that is you get like a convoy of all these tours going to the same place, and these like secret lagoons are really crowded. So we've booked it through a hostel outpost who does like their own version of the tour. So hopefully we'll get to avoid a bit of the crowds and have a bit of a backpacker party along the way.
As everyone got on board the boat, James was still feeling a little bit rough from our rum party last night, so the captain had the perfect cure for him.
Pick this up. Salamat, Kapitan.
And so it begins. Good work, Captain. Pull harder. And the barbecue ready. James on holiday. Island number 1.
You make a free throw, you get a free bit.
Oh, mighty close.
Jump in.
Welcome to island number 2. We're gonna set up the barbecue lunch over here and just basically chill out, have some beers, and James is gonna have to do a bit of rock climbing. Oh yeah, it's like a nice easy start today. Just hang out on beaches, having a good time, and then we'll start exploring the lagoons, get some snorkeling. You guys from Philippines?
Yeah.
Cebu?
Yeah. Yes, we are.
You guys on holiday?
Yeah.
You having fun?
Yes, having fun.
Nice.
Tarungan yung Chinese today. Yeah. You don't understand. I said I love him. I love him. You said I love you. I love you.
You love me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that okay?
It's okay, it's fine, you can love me. Alright, so we're gonna get a kayak and row around into the big lagoon. You ready for some kayaking?
I'm not going actually.
Oh, that's the kind of enthusiastic response I'm looking for.
100% going.
Okay, that's making the edit. Now we're talking. As you can see, I'm rowing my ass off. James is going to be straight to the wall. Give you a 360 view around. So this is the wall.
Maybe you have not seen this before. This is what we call 360 view. That is a legit 360 view.
Chilling in the big lagoon. This is beautiful. This is on par with Koh Phi Phi in Thailand.
Whoa!
Charge. The English are coming! Watch out! The Irish are like,
Enjoying life. James has been waiting for a nap all day. This is the life. Drift through here all day. Pick that gerb!
Pick the gerb! Hello. Hello. It's slightly nicer than Dublin.
This is slightly nicer than Dublin. Just slightly. They're probably not worth the effort, but since we're here, we'll enjoy it.
Come back, like. The weather's better in Dublin. Yeah, it's much nicer.
Stop number 4, Snake Island. at a floating bar in the middle of the Philippines. Absolute paradise. What they got on? Brian Adams.
Pinagbuyatan. Pinagbuyatan.
Pinagbuyatan.
Got it.
Smashed it, bro.
Alright, last island of the day. It's called Siargao Island, and drinking games. Apparently we haven't been drinking enough already, so we're doing a drinking game here. You look a bit burnt, Luke.
Yeah,
Lobster Luke.
Lobster Luke.
You know what's good sand?
Just slap him. Just
I
slap
slapped
him.
him in the chest earlier.
Slap him.
Oh.
This is what's meant to happen. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Boom.
Hey. Ah!
There we go.
Cheers, mate.
How's that GoPro going now?
It's going down good.
Rum and Coke. Free rum and Coke.
Yeah, free rum Coke. Rum and Coke.
How's your day been?
Welcome back. My day has been absolutely amazing. How's your day?
Very, very good.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So today, probably the best day of the trip. Cruising around El Nido is what I wanted from this trip. Great group of people, beautiful islands, beautiful lagoons. Loved it. Ben?
Awesome.
I can love
What
it.
else can you say? Just look over there.
Of course, the question always is, where's James? But he should be alright. Welcome back.
This is our beautiful Outpost edition. The sunset shot.
So this is our last day in El Nido, and it's almost like the last day of the trip. We came to Las Cabanas beach, just hang out with people having a few drinks. We fly back to Manila tomorrow, and we're going to give ourselves a full weekend there, so we're not just traveling and then traveling home. As James has been saying, we're going to have a thriller in Manila. Yeah, our thriller in Manila ended up not really happening because we got up early to get our 4-hour shuttle to the airport. Then once we were at the airport, our plane was delayed by 5 hours. So we didn't get to our hostel in Manila till like gone midnight. And it's because of things like that that by the end of our trip, we kind of had mixed feelings about our time in the Philippines, because in hindsight, we tried to do too much. We tried to go to too many islands, and it meant that our trip was too kind of stop-start, and we never really got on the rhythm of a place. And just as we were starting to enjoy it, we had to move on to the next island. And so I think James had the best line to sum it up, which is, I can see why people fall in love with the Philippines, but we haven't given ourselves a chance to. It's just a nice shot of you just looking out, contemplating life.
I'm thinking about where the next beer is.
And ultimately it's my fault, like I messed up the planning of this trip, because on paper these journeys from one island to another look dead easy, like should only take a half day, but in reality it takes such a long time to get anywhere in the Philippines because of bad roads, bad traffic, but mostly because these flights are often delayed between 2 to 5 hours. And because these half-day journeys ended up taking a full day, we end up losing a third of our time of our trip just getting from one place to another, and even longer than that, just recovering from it. But we were so tired, both James and I got on the mattresses and just collapsed. I mean, some places you travel to, the traveling from A to B is part of the fun, it's part of the adventure, whether you're on buses, boats, trains, tuk-tuks, whatever, and sometimes it's tiring and stressful, but ultimately it's all part of the experience. But in the Philippines, spending 2 to 5 hours in an airport isn't my idea of fun and isn't my idea of an adventure. And you can get boats from one island to another, but they take even longer. So what it comes down to is time, like how much time do you have and how do you want to spend it? If you're on a much longer trip in the Philippines, then none of what I'm saying really matters. You can just spread these crappy journeys out. But because we were only doing 3 weeks, by the end of it, I just wanted to rewind it and do it all again, because it was like, right, I got this figured out now, because, it is more fun in the Philippines, but it's more faff as well. So the solution is take the faff out and just do one island. So one idea is we could have just gone to Palawan, flown into Puerto Princesa, and gone and seen like the underground river and done a zip line. Then we could have gone up to Port Barton. It's supposed to be really beautiful and chilled out there. and then we could have gone up to El Nido and had a good time there, and then joined one of those like 5-day island hopping tours up to Coron, and then flown back to Manila from there. So that's just 2 internal flights spread out to either end of the trip, which means you can have 3 weeks just on the ground and properly getting into your experience. But that's quite an activity-based 3 weeks. Like an alternative to that is just go straight to Siargao and have 3 weeks there. Like, we loved the vibe there, could have really just got stuck in, enjoyed exploring around, learning to surf and things like that, and just had a far more chilled out experience.
It's the one, mate.
And then if I had 6 weeks in the Philippines, you know, the Philippines isn't just beaches and lagoons. I would have gone north from Manila and gone up and checked out all the small villages and the rice fields and then the mountains and volcanoes and things like that, and seen a different side to the Philippines rather than just all these paradise islands. But of course, the flip side to everything I'm saying is that, you know, when your trip's a bit too stop-starty and you're getting a bit tired and frustrated, you end up getting a negative frame of mind and focusing on the things you're not doing, like, oh, maybe we're not seeing the best stuff, we're not experiencing the best stuff, we're missing out on this, that and the other, and you kind of forget to enjoy what's right in front of your face, because, you know, when I look back on the trip, we still had a fantastic time.
And now it's just perfect evening to finish it all off, so loving life.
Boracay, we had great fun partying there, and Cebu, those waterfalls were just stunning, and we loved climbing and canyoning around them.
That's the best thing I've done on this trip so far.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yes, mate.
At Siargao, like we keep saying, the vibe there was really awesome, and we really enjoyed just exploring around. And El Nido was just gorgeous. We had a great time there and made plenty of cool friends along the way as well.
The main thing I like about the Philippines though is how friendly the locals are. Like if you go to Thailand, you know, there's plenty of friendly people there, but they're so used to the tourism and all different kinds of tourism, and you feel like you're constantly being scammed. Whilst here, no one's trying to scam you. Like they say a price, that's how much it costs. Everyone's genuine and they're friendly. And it just makes you feel so welcome. You know, you don't feel like you're invading a country, you feel like you're a guest and you're welcome, and that's kind of what's made Philippines to me.
Soundbite.
Soundbite, yes.
So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go back to the Philippines because I think there's a far better trip to be done there. And yeah, a lot more fun to be had.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Come here in the Philippines and enjoy.